beliefs from the belief I am unaware of my soul to the belief I am deeply connected to my soul. It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. E. Cummings. Chapter 1. Reclaiming Your Life. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. Carl Jung. The last thing my patient Beatrice expected at a business convention in Venezuela was a tarot card reading. But when a woman named Maria approached her on the street and offered her a reading, "I'll tell you anything you want to know about your love life," she promised, Beatrice could not resist. Even after 3 years, Beatrice still had the burning question about Pavlos. Was he the one? Maria sat Beatrice down, spread the deck across the table in an arc, then told her to ask a question she'd like answered and draw one card from the deck. Beatrice held her breath and asked the question that was still gnawing at her soul. Was Pavlos the one? On the card Beatrice chose, a couple was intertwined. A woman's head was bent back in surrender. A man stood behind her with his arm around her shoulders. His hand gently touched her cheek. Beneath their feet the title read, Los Enamorados. Brushing back her long hair, Maria looked down at the card, then back up at Beatrice. "This is the lover's card," she said. "It represents the man with whom you could be happy on every level." Yes, Pavlos could have been, or perhaps still can be, the one. The love Beatrice had been waiting for had arrived. Normally, that would have been more than she could have hoped for. But as far as Beatrice knew, Pavlos was gone. Yet again, Beatrice had betrayed her fondest dreams and sabotaged her love life. Instead of dancing for joy, she started to cry. It was an existential cry of brokenness, pain, and deep disconnection from her true essence. Once she started, she couldn't stop. She cried all week, though not because she'd lost a man she barely knew. After all, this man was never hers. So why did he still hold such a place in her heart? Eventually, Beatrice's skepticism about tarot readings rose to her defense. Why should she believe a single card could tell her anything important about her life? But even as she mounted her arguments, she could not shake the gnawing feeling that the tarot was right. She had lost the love of her life. Beatrice had met Pavlos at a business conference in Hawaii 3 years before. When their eyes met, she felt as if he were looking deep into her soul. It was only a few seconds, but it felt like an eternity. The handsome man standing before her was an entrepreneur from Greece with scruffy blonde hair, a warm smile, and gentle blue eyes. A surge of romance rose inside her. He may be the one, my soulmate. It felt so real, despite that Beatrice sang herself that same lyrical refrain about once a year, every time she felt a soul connection with a man. Finding someone to love had been Beatrice's deepest longing for as long as she could remember. She had dated many men, but it never seemed to work out. Even so, she wanted it more than anything else in the world. If being a hopeless romantic were a science, she'd win the Nobel Prize. Pavlos and Beatrice had made an instantaneous but deep connection with each other, the sort of connection Beatrice had never experienced with anyone else. They talked and laughed, then laughed and talked some more, oblivious to their inebriated colleagues dancing to a surreal mix of hot-blooded salsa music and old Frank Sinatra tunes like My Way. Pavlos had wanted to keep the magic going. As he walked Beatrice to her hotel room that night, he pulled her close for a kiss. Beatrice felt fireworks. He was not ready to say goodbye. Still gazing into her eyes, he murmured, "Would you like to spend some more time together? Maybe come out and look at the stars with me. I'm not ready for tonight to end." His words echoed perfectly everything that Beatrice thought but was afraid to admit. Everything was going so beautifully. Then, for some inexplicable reason, Beatrice said no. That was their last goodbye. She chose to walk away and never contacted him again, though the memory of Pavlos still lingered wistfully in her heart and mind 3 years later. Over the years, Beatrice didn't ask herself, "Where is he now?" but "Why did I say no?"